We even have that I've been coming up with is a time-based exit, or at least a time-based awareness. I talk about that when I put this trade on, I can normally get out of the trade within 2 hours. I'm going to talk about a checklist that you should potentially have when you're doing the zero DT trade. And this is kind of taking the statistical day trading course and taking all the different type of experience that I have, Dr. Meadows have, and a number of you have on this call that you have shared with me to come up with a list. This list is just an example, you guys. Your list can be something completely different, right? It might be very similar or it can be completely different, but it's just coming up with a checklist to help you understand the process that you're trying to accomplish with your zero DT trade. The more discipline you have around your zero DT trade, the better performance you're going to experience. So the first thing I want to mention is market conditions. So is the market trending or is it range bound? Obviously, recently we've been trending up for the last 9 weeks. But with a zero DT trade, it's how's that day as well, right? How's that day going? You can also consider how was yesterday to kind of give you a feel for market conditions, right? And for today, you can consider, okay, did we have a gap up? Did we have a gap down? Is the market flat today for that zero DT trade? Is it some type of event going on today? Like, for example, is it some type of announcement coming out that is not on the economic calendar, but it's some type of announcement coming out? The president is scheduled an announcement at X time. You want to factor all of those kind of things in when you're going to be putting on the zero DT trade. Okay. Another thing that you can factor in is new events, right? Or events that is already kind of scheduled. That's potentially later in the day. Like sometimes we have things come out at 10 a.m. Eastern time that might move the market that you might be concerned about or want to be vigilant about. Or we might have the Fed interest rate decision coming out that day. Well, if you're going to do a zero DT trade that day, it's most likely not going to be able to get out of that until after the Fed announcement. And then that presents a lot more risk, right? The market could move in a significant way up or a significant way down after that announcement, especially if it's, some type of wording change that the market wasn't expecting. You want to consider that. Then we talk about things like delta selection. Here at Dorian Trader, we talk about having no higher than a 10 delta on either side. Okay, we just put on the trade a little while ago, and we put it on at the 10 delta on the put side. We were at maybe a 6 delta on the call side. And at this point, you can see that the market is about almost 50% off the highs. But that put right now that we put at a 10 delta is only 11 delta at this point, if these deltas are correct. So our kind of delta selection is you can pick any delta, except you do not want it to be higher than a 10 delta on either side. And that's the kind of standard zero DT trade that we do. Most of the time, the deltas that we put on are usually no higher than an 8, most likely around a 7, okay? Especially on that put side. Now, you want to understand the probability of touch when you are picking your deltas. And so you want to know the probability of touch on the overall Aaron Condor that you're putting on, and you want to know the probability of touch individually on the put spread and the call spread. So, for example, when we originally put this trade on the put side, it was a 10 delta. So if we were just doing the put side, at expiration, it says you would have a 90% chance of winning at expiration. But probability of touch is 2 times delta. So if we take that 10 and we times it by 2, that would equal a 20% chance it touches on the put side. Okay, if we were just doing the put side by itself. Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out that if you're interested in learning more about the zero DT strategy or any other of the strategies that we teach here at Dorian Trader, you can check out our Dorian Way School. We're going to put the link in the description area. It will help you accelerate your learning process. Thanks for listening. Now back to the video. Now, on the call side, we had a 6 delta when we initiated the trade. So what that means is that you're going to have a 94% chance, if it was just a call side, a 94% chance of making at least something at expiration. Right? So you take the 100 minus 6 from it, 94. Now the probability of touch is once again on the call side 2 times the delta. So the probability of touch would be about a 12% chance it touches on the call side. Right? So not that is, a very small possibility it touches on that call side at that 6 delta. But when you're doing an iron condor, you need to add up both sides, right? Because the market can, let's just say it was a 6 on this side, like we said, the market could go down a lot. This is going down on an option chain, or it can go up a lot. Okay. And it can touch the put side or it can touch the call side. So you want to have a kind of the best kind of what will happen probabilistically touch wise. And so you take the 10 on the put side, take the 6 on the call side, you add that up, that's 16. And then if you times that by 2, that would equal a 32% chance that touches. Okay. That it touches. A 32% chance it touches one of the sides. So you want to understand that. Because here at Dorian Trader, we consider the probability of touch as the probability of having to adjust. Now, another thing you want to consider is the credit that you're receiving. What are your credit requirements? Here at Dorian Trader, we have a minimum amount that we would accept when we're doing a standard type of 0DT trade. And we try to get that amount so that it can be easy for us to get out of the trade. Right? Here at Dorian Trader, we say collecting at least $100 on each contract you have allows you to get out of the trade faster. The more premium you have and the further away from at the money and the more premium you have, the faster you can be able to get out of the trade. If you have to adjust the trade, keeping a decent amount of premium still really helps with that trade. We also talk about other type of entry criteria. We talk about the expected move. We talk about the VIX rule of 16, and we talk about 2 times the expected move. And then we also talk about kind of skewing the trade, things like that. And then we have our adjustment criteria on this kind of checklist. When to adjust, when not to adjust, when to go for a scratch, what is an acceptable type of loss. We have our exit criteria, our profit targets. We even have that I've been coming up with is a time-based exit or at least a time-based awareness. I talk about that when I put this trade on, I can normally get out of the trade within 2 hours. And if I'm still in the trade near the 2-hour period or after the 2-hour period, that's when I know the trade becomes a lot more, it can potentially become a lot more challenging. So I get more vigilant when that's the case. I'm in the trade for more than 2 hours. I might decide to take profits at 30%. I might decide to take profits at 35%. I might even decide to take profits at 20%. It all depends on the situation, meaning that how well have I done that day? How well have I done during the week? And do I want to risk the possibility of giving any of that back? And if the answer is no, I probably take a profit sooner. And instead of trying to get the 50 to 60% that we want, I might take 30%. I might take 25%. I might even get out at break even. Your risk management rules. Some of you in the 1DTE cohort have been creating your own rule kind of criteria, kind of your checklist, your cheat sheet for your rules. Some of you that I've been doing one-on-ones with, I've been having you create your kind of rule list, your checklist for the 0DT trade and or the 1DT trade. And if you can follow your rules, you're going to be successful, you guys. It's just having the discipline to follow your rules, because your rules are structured to help you avoid yourself, right? Your nature. All of us are greedy at nature for the most part. And we will do silly things that puts more risk in the trade. And so if we follow those rules that we have, we're going to reduce that possibility to potentially eliminating that possibility altogether. All right. So you want to create this checklist, you guys, for yourself. It doesn't have to be anything, awesome yet. It can just be a draft and get the process started. And then make sure that you follow it to the T. Because if you have rules that keeps your losses at a a reasonable amount, it's going to build your confidence, and you're going to know when you can scale, when you can start doing, instead of just one contract, when you can do, 5, 10, 20, 50 contracts like Dr. Metals. Understand that if you don't have rules, you're going to wind up hurting yourself with this type of trade. Create your own checklist, you guys. Create your own rule list.